CNN ain't see none of my friends. Swag gave me the blues, they never walked in my shoes. They want us living in fear, it ain't what I'm trying to hear. Switched it over to Fox, kept clicking, I barely stopped. New guests on NBC, no one that represent me, so I got tired of waiting. Sit master debate, give me some headlines, it must be past bedtime. Sleeping on me still like I ain't vitamin D for real. Rep your city, play devil's advocate. Wayne Brady gon' have to slack a bit. Tell me something good, a recipe for success. Give me some timeline, shop session and flight deck. Hey, P, what's next?
Perseverance, ownership, sticking to your principles. All summed up in one word: character. It's a word that carries tremendous weight, embodying the essence of who we are and how we navigate the world. Character is not merely a sum of our actions, but a reflection of our deepest values and convictions. True character reveals itself in the face of adversity when the world tests our mettle and challenges our resolve. It's easy to be virtuous when everything is going well, when the sun is shining and the path is clear. But it is in the midst of life's storms, when winds howl and the rain pours, that character truly shines. Character is integrity, the unwavering commitment to upholding one's principles, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. It's about standing tall in the face of temptation and choosing the path of righteousness. It's about being honest and true, not only to others, but to oneself, most importantly to oneself. Character is empathy, the ability to understand and share in the feelings of others. It's the kindness extended to a stranger, compassion shown to a friend in need. It's the willingness to listen, to offer a helping hand, and to make a difference in someone else's life. It is the resilience, the inner strength to bounce back from setbacks and failures. It's about refusing to let circumstances define us, but instead using them as stepping stones toward growth. It's the determination to persevere even when the odds are stacked against us. Character is humility, the recognition that we all are a part of something greater than ourselves. It's the willingness to learn from others, to acknowledge our mistakes, and to embrace feedback. It's about treating every person with respect, regardless of their status or background. Regardless of their status or background. It is consistency, the ability to align our words with our actions. It's about living a life of integrity where our values shine through every aspect of our existence. It's about being reliable, dependable, trustworthy. Character is a lifelong journey, an ever-evolving tapestry woven by our choices and experiences. It's not something we are born with, but something we cultivate and nurture over time. And while it may be tested and challenged, true character endures, serving as our guiding light in a complex world. So, my friend, let us strive to cultivate character in ourselves and recognize it in others. For in character, we find the strength to stand tall, the compassion to uplift, and the resilience to overcome. It's the mark of greatness and the legacy we leave behind.
Now I want y'all to sit with that for just a second, not too long, but I want you to ground yourself wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're consuming it. Ground yourself, whether you're sitting down, whether you're laying down, feel whatever it is behind you, underneath you, around you, on top of you. Inhale through your nose to a 4 count. Exhale through your nose for another 4 count. Feel your belly rise. Feel your belly fall. Find that cadence in your breath. That thing that brings you presence. That thing that brings you stability. And as soon as you do that, I want to welcome you to GSH Season 3, Episode 91. It's your boy, P. Henry Trotter IV, a.k.a. Home Run Trot, a.k.a. Casino P, a.k.a. Mr. Lone P, a.k.a. Chef P, a.k.a. Mock Tube, a.k.a. Big Brother Dyson, a.k.a. your grandma's favorite house guest, because that boy got manners. We are so happy to be here with you this evening. And who do I mean by we? You know, it can't be P without no.
We three, me, P, and Master P, sipping on gin and kiwi. Fuck popping in your CD. Bitch, we popping in your ass, and then we all up in your grill live in 3D with drama, disaster up there, and we gonna make you have to call a pastor. But I like rap. This your nigga C.O.D. Decaturboy music, a.k.a. C.O.D. Decaturboy, make all the bitches move it. Hey, you talking about I like to move it. Move it. Hey, you talking about a.k.a. Big Tabby the cool cat. What you doing with it, P? I'ma leave with that big purr one time. That brrr.
Man,
I got that
coolin',
energy this week, man. You see how with it, man. I'm a real character, if you will.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? A little wordplay on infinity. We doing great, man. We doing great to see that. It's a recording night.
Did you do the right thing yet?
Which one is that? What is that?
Tell them that it's a Spike P joint. Man, both of them is Spike Lee joints. What you doing, man?
It is a Spike P joint. Episode 91 for the year my brother was born. Not this brother that life gave me, but the one that my brother
yelling like Jesus
that God gave me. My biological little brother was born in 1991. But
you can let them think I'm a 90s baby. Fuck that shit. I was born in 91, y'all. We in here, young folk. We about to hit 30, right? That shit crazy, young people. My fellow young folk.
It's wild.
Isn't it crazy how our backs are starting to hurt? Lies.
Cause that ain't been a problem ever. We never had that issue. Not historically.
When we started out the show, I had that shit pinned on me like fuck. But I was confused over here. I said, I'm gonna just smile through it, get the people some teeth. You seen that silly shit? Could you peep that? Damn. Your shit on gal?
Mine on speaker mode.
Okay, I don't know why your shit don't follow me, but yeah, the whole front of that bit was just me. But yeah, man, y'all know what time it is. We started out the show, and around the time we started out the show, we usually start that bitch off on the fliggity flight there. He talking about I almost lost that bitch in the green screen cause I'm on that mean machine. No TMNT. P, can you guess? I give you two guesses as to what this week's flight deck is about. Option number A, go.
Relationships.
Blast from the past. Nah, man, we leaving that shit there. And just for the record, y'all, we ain't really want to talk about that shit. Felt like we had to. How could we not? You feel me? But we done with that shit, man. Please don't give us no more headlines. That was sent to the Gmail. Y'all gave me some questions, so we figured we'd answer them shites directly, and we didn't want to add the adder, and we kept them anonymous. But if y'all don't want to be anonymous, feel free to let us know, because we'll email your ass back a show link, and you can fuck around, jump in here, and I started to say embarrass yourself, but get your opinion. You feel
a little bit of banter, a little
cow. You feel me? Join, put that yank on wax. Nah, man, strike one, man. You got one more strike, man. Fuck baseball. Did GSH ball? Fuck, we ball.
I'm trying to go vague. Let's see. Movies.
Technically, you got it. Crazy enough. This week's flight deck is all about having the motherfucking spotlight. Bruh, what people do with attention and everybody's attention is always intriguing to me. Cause you can tell when a motherfucker not used to having that in their hands. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like wielding it back and forth and like saying some shit and everybody go, oh shit, well, goddamn, you kind of made it. And the murmurs is off of everybody ain't ready for that power, man. And I've been in a lot of circumstances where niggas who shouldn't have that power had that power. And this week's flight that we gonna let a nigga take off. He had a rally in 2020. You'll be able to tell what type of rally he was at from how he started to get off. It's such a good fucking time. I gotta just drop into this, BP. You ready for the juice, man?
Yeah.
We build in love every black man, every Catholic, every Jew, every Muslim, every person in Philadelphia needs to pray and love and believe in something greater than yourselves. This is not about George Floyd. This is about hate. This is about idiots. Niggers come in every color. Niggers come in every race.
Yo, this shit so fucking funny to me, bro. I'm gonna play it back on mute as you share your thoughts. Cause you could tell he started to realize, oh damn, y'all ain't still with me. You feel me? Cause like, look at the body language. Talk to me about how you feel first run through. I give you that again. After I was with him. First impression.
I was with him, and I don't know. If that was the message that he was going to end with. I don't know if that was the message he was going to end with the whole time, that he look around and see a bunch of faces in the crowd that didn't look like the people he was addressing.
Oh, you seen some niggas inspired that last piece.
And like he said, wow, man. Like I didn't, and it didn't look like, you can tell by what he wearing, what he holding. I think he holding like spray paint or something. Like it looked like Cud just came from work. Like he was at a construction site and was walking down the street. That nigga not there for
the protest at all. He just had everybody attention in their palms and got to doing stuff with it.
Yeah.
That nigga was not there for what everybody was there for, bruh.
That is insane. I
refuse to believe he was there for the protest, bruh.
No, of course not.
Man, this shit ain't about George Floyd. There, where everybody was like, "Hold up, you talking about George Floyd?"
Exactly.
I'm gonna run back the audio one more time before we drop back in.
Every black man, every Catholic, every Jew, every Muslim, every person in Philadelphia needs to pray and love and believe in something greater than yourself. This is not about George Floyd.
Okay.
This is
right here is where he took a left. You feel what I'm saying? He hitting on some of the notes in the monologue by a character. He talking about being a part of something greater than yourself.
Right.
That's out there the big homie God. You feel
right?
I'm like, okay, yeah, big dog. We all on the same page, but right here is where he take a fork.
It was that too. Before you hit play, it was that, and it was also when this is not about George Floyd, and then you can see in his arms, like with the execution of the motions, it's like, oh man, I'm here now. But I'm here now.
Like damn, where was I going with this shit?
Oh man, I'm rambling. Like I think in his head he's like, what Jamie Foxx did to my man, Doug, forget his last name, the comedian, but he was like, I'm your conscience.
Oh, and who roast was that? Snoop?
I think it
Emmett
was
Smith. I think it was Emmett Smith. Because why the fuck would Emmett Smith have been there if he wasn't a roastee?
Right.
It had to be Emmett. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Emmett Smith's roast, and Buddy made a comment about Jamie Foxx or something else. No, Jamie was the host, and Buddy made an unfunny comment, and Jamie Foxx was like, well, we losing the crowd. I gotta say something funny. I'm a funny guy. And he said, I am your conscience. And he just plugged in to Buddy like he was his conscience, and he said, I did another joke that didn't go over. And so when Buddy tried to address Jamie Foxx said, I'm not Jamie Foxx, I'm your conscience. That's what this man right here is going through. His conscience is trying to take over, and he just pushing right on through. And
go ahead and shoot your shot for Jamie, man, cause he's sitting still right now. Get that to the people. I'm gonna run in front of the jump, man. Give him that Jamie right quick for 37 high ones. You with it?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2. We're on.
Action.
Every black man, every Catholic,
yeah, man.
Every Jew,
you are on a roll, my brother. This is your conscience. They are loving you right now. Give it some more. Give it some more. Stay with it. Stay with it.
This is not about George Floyd.
Hold up.
Hate.
Nah.
It's about idiots.
Hold up, what?
Niggas coming every
No, you went over the top.
Niggas coming every race.
You tripling down. No, stop. Run. Please, run.
Can I tell you what my favorite part of this whole video is?
What's that?
He realized he losing the people. And this motherfucker said, oh, okay, my bad. I said niggas come in every color. Niggas come in every race. Oh, y'all ain't feeling that neither? Damn. Where did I go wrong? He knew he had fucked up. But he thought where he fucked up was switching race out for color. The nigga was fine. That shit had me rolling. When I tell you, I watched this video 15 times the first time I seen this shit.
Bruh, he really did.
This nigga is a character. You feel me? And can I tell you part of what made me laugh?
Oh, that's a good time.
It made me think of another time a person had everybody's attention. And it's a nigga who should not have been the star of the moment. It was me and you riding up Peachtree right by the Chick-fil-A by like Collier. You know what I'm talking about? Right. What hospital that is right there? It used to be Crawford Long, ain't it? I don't know what that shit called. It wasn't them Emory satellites now. Fuck that shit. Anyway, we on Peachtree, right in the heart of Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about? We sitting at a motherfucking stoplight. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So nobody can go. The light has changed twice and traffic is at a standstill. Niggas can't turn right. Niggas can't go straight down Peachtree. Niggas ain't busting U's or nothing off Collier. Niggas is cutting through the gas station. The what is a Tessie hole? Mm-hmm. They cut through the Tessie hole by dirty Uncle Julio. You feel me? Where we used to go for the. Bro, we tear that bitch up. Anyway, shouts out to Uncle Julio. That's the only niggas within emotion. And then eventually ain't nobody turning right. So the shit at a standstill. A cop come out of nowhere. Cause it's usually a nigga. That ain't Northside. I think that's Northside right there. That's Northside. That's why I had my what's it called? Anyway. It was I'ma say it was gallbladder surgery, y'all. I ain't got no weird shit, nothing but clean tests. But yeah, it's usually a nigga doing cross guard work by the garage entrance. So I think that's the nigga we seen. But anyway, this nigga come sliding up that bit, right? So he comes swerving up. He put his cruiser diagonal in the middle of the fucking intersection and hop out to address the problem. And I waited to tell y'all the problem because y'all just seen what the problem was. It was a man who should not have had the center of attention. If we are to make assumptions about this gentleman's living situation, would I assume that he ain't have a place to lay his head? Probably. You feel me? Cause the nigga was just yelling at nobody. Wasn't nobody windows down except for nigga with their phones out there whole catching that bitch on camera. But the nigga just walk around. Everybody on pins and needles. We on a dime. That nigga P, we in the G. That nigga P leaning like this out the right side. We like, oh, this nigga crazy. The cop swerving around and trying to cut the nigga off from blocking the street up with the cruiser. Finally, he say, fuck it and get up. And get out. And he tell her, hey, get your ass the fuck out the street. He look at that nigga dead in his face, bro. And I can't remember the exact quote, but he say something along the lines of, man, get out my dick. And when I tell you, you can hear every car at the intersection start to shake and rumble with laughter, bro. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever experienced in my life. Because the dude's ass was out. He had on 4 layers on his lower body. And his ass was still out. So he just strutting around Peachtree, ass out. coat, sweater, hat on and shit. And he just like, it's like when ducks be blocking the highway and niggas, somebody get out there and help them ducks cross the street. But it was the J though. And then the cop pull up, man, get your ass out the street. He's like, man, get off my dick. Like he had been into attend to it. That nigga was really stopping in motion. Like, look, little bro, get your little puss ass up out of here while I handle it. That shit. Oh, I'm about to die. That nigga should not have had everybody's attention. But what he did with it was just as memorable as my man out there in the city of brotherly love. Boy, he tore the peach state up with that one. I'm sure I don't know if them nigga got podcasts, but everybody who was at that intersection who saw that shit has told this fucking story. I tell you that right now. Pete, man, you got anything in recent memory? And it don't have to be about a vagrant or a crazy motherfucker in the street. But do you have anything that cut in the mind? Well, somebody had everybody's attention. And they said, shots out to Ye Bird. We ain't taking no shots at Ye. Which, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who should not have had everybody's attention in that particular moment. And then they fumbled the bag. But it was, you know, fumble still could lead to a touchdown. Somebody scoring, you know what I'm saying? It's entertainment.
It's funny. It's not. It's funny. I feel like everybody would think it's funny. But I'm not close to this person. I've never met this person in real life, but I think of Buddy that had the microphone in his hand at that church, and he not gay no more.
Oh, oh my God!
That man
I know exactly what you talking about.
He shouldn't have had the microphone, but he did, and I'm glad he did. Like he shouldn't have had it. If that was his testimony, because I feel like. It was times at church growing up where they open it up and people come up there and get a testimony, and it be somebody who just want attention. Like they want it and they about to use it, and they probably gonna abuse it. And because when somebody giving a testimony, you don't just, it's not like the Grammys or some other award show where you on a running clock. Is we want to hear what God has done for you, and to be respectful, we gonna hear you to completion. And I just remember sometimes at church, man, people getting up there and just saying things like once they done said their piece and they got like Buddy, they got everybody behind them. They just blow it. Like they blow it. It take too long, or they say something goofy, and it's like, and you hear the murmurs in the crowd, and they don't sit down. They just try to save it. But yeah, that's those are the examples that I have, man.
Told you it's done right now. What did you come here for? What did you come down here for? Tell me. To get delivered more. To get delivered. Do you believe that the Lord tonight has set you free? Yes, sir. Turn around and tell those people. Tell them. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman. Now listen, y'all praise God with him. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold just 1 minute.
Even the pastor had to call a timeout.
That nigga said, no
I've
more
never seen that.
Men, women.
He said, and you can tell he kind of lost it, because once he got to the end, he was like, I want to love a woman. And you don't even know the singular and plural of woman and women.
That's some shit that always make me happy when somebody used the wrong one. You ain't never gonna get corrected by me. I'm gonna just enjoy life because I love that shit. That shit always funny, bro.
Oh man, that dude, bro. Every time I see that meme, it brings joy to my life. I relive it like it was the first time. That's the first time I've seen. Like I didn't know. I've never seen it from that far. I've only seen it when he has the mic in his hand. Never seen that preacher hand him the mic, him go up there and ask, like, what is your testimony? But that happens at church all the time. If you are somebody who don't go to a Southern Baptist church.
This nigga trying to do a marketing campaign for church. This nigga wildly, go ahead.
Bruh, if you somebody who has never been to a Southern Baptist church where it is not frowned upon, like where it is where you are encouraged to get in front of everybody in the congregation and say your piece, and people
sit with the old black ladies who not sitting with husbands. That's gonna be the best conversation. She need to sit her ass down.
But they talk about people the whole service. The whole service, in court. The whole service they talk about people. Man.
I swear to God, man.
But my G.
Yes, sir.
Can I do you a flavor?
Could you do me and the audience a favor and give me some headlines? Boom, boom, one.
Yeah, man, I can do that for you, man. And this week, like last week, I like the approach we took. I did it 3 times, so we're not doing 3 headlines. We're doing 1. I'm gonna tell you what the headline is this week, bro. It is
Bruh, it's a good tree, bro. Hey, my bad, G. You know, I got the second screen where I can see what goes on, so I could kind of monitor for production purposes. Bro, when the horse came in, I thought a nigga had came into the crib behind me. Why ball boy had to jump down on old goddamn Rover? You feel me?
You sound like Shawty, man. We went and taken the puppy.
Did you hear that voice memo about falling in love with a horse?
Yeah, I did. Bruh. That was funny. That
need to do that. Even if it's just a skit, we got to do a little limerick to that, bro.
That's a bet. That was funny. But before we get to this week's headline, I want to tell y'all a quick story about my lady, man, and how she do not like certain animals. We took the puppy butt for a walk, and we got a little park by our crib, and our dog, he's 3 years old now, so he got a little bit of independence about himself. So we on the walk. Our dog's name is Saint the Sinner, at Saint D-A Sinner spelled the regular way on IG. So we taking Buddy for a walk.
Yay.
He in his confidence. He feeling himself. He in the tall grass. He go running down to the pond, and we can't see him because he in the tall grass. To get down there, you don't see him until he emerge from it. And he pop his little head up. And so the lady's like, well, baby, come back. I was like, well, he all right. He good. You know what I'm saying?
Come back.
He finally in a place where he running out there having a good time, enjoying himself. And she's like, well, they just put that snake repellent down, so I don't want him to eat none of that. So I was like, okay, well, I'll call him back. So I call him back, bro. He get to running up the hill. You hear and then all of a sudden you just see about a 6-foot snake, bro, just slither right in front of us across the damn path. And Carmen turned around and dip set. She said, walk over. And run all the way back to the entrance of the parkway, bro. But my lady do not like no damn snakes, bro. But it was funny how she immediately after her mentioning, I don't want the dog to get into no snake repellent, a snake comes sprinting up the damn hill and across our feet. But this week's headline, quick little segue, battle
transition,
battle of the acronyms. Battle of the acronyms. And so, to address this headline, I have to bring it down just a little bit. And you know, once I hit this register, you know, once we get here, you know, I'm about to welcome a friend of the show, our good friends over at Where My G?
Gotta rustle some books. N-P-R. Can't spell N-P-R without the P.
Without the P. Hey, I like how you did that there. But we want to talk to y'all about how Hollywood actors are on strike and they said it's time for studio execs to wake up. So the SAG, SAG, and AFTRA, that's two different acronyms, SAG, AFTRA, AFTRA. So that is the studio, I think it's the studio, hold on.
Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild. And AFTRA is the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. These are two different unions that represent, that embody those, the people who fall under those umbrellas. They merged in 2012. So roughly
they
11 years ago.
Divide up front of the house and back of the house. The people you see, the wait staff and everything, they're the actors, and they're the SAG. And after, that's the cooks, the head chef, the executive chef, sous chef, you know what I'm saying, maitre d', you know what I'm saying? That's how it's split up, front of the house, back of the house.
And then you have the WGA, which is the Writing Guild Association, or Writing Guild of America, Writers Guild of America, one of those. But SAG-AFTRA,
the niggas who be writing, for anybody who confused.
The union representing Hollywood actors and performers has voted to go on strike against major studios. Union President Fran Drescher, yes, that is Fran Drescher from The Nanny.
You know, I had that in my bag. I'm telling you.
That was nice, yeah.
Appreciate it.
If y'all didn't catch that reference, he was born after the 90s. Fran Drescher said in a press conference.
Not in 91 like me.
Not 91, a little bit later on.
Fellow young people.
Fran Drescher said in a press conference that it was time for studio executives to wake up and smell the coffee. The union's national board made the decision after negotiations broke down with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, that is the AMPTP, another acronym. After a last-ditch effort monitored by a federal mediator, the two sides failed to come to an agreement. And so, right now, we have the SAG, AFTRA, and then there's also a Directors Guild, but they came to their deal. And then you have the WGA. So SAG, AFTRA, and the Writers Guild are all on strike. The last time this happened,
who came to their deal?
The directors have their own union, and they came to it. They have their deal. And so the
niggas been making money hand over fist.
Mm-hmm. And so
they the producers. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
So so this is, if you are a part of this COWmunity and you like sports, this is akin to the ownership doing a collective bargaining agreement with the Players Association, and the players are the SAG, AFTRA, and the WGA. They're the players. The directors are the coaches. The coaches got their money.
And I put it in super butt naked raw terms for them if we gonna go to sports.
Yeah.
Nigga, collectively, what everybody asking for would protect them from being fucked over by AI and cost the studios roughly $348 million. That shit is 1% of their collective annual revenue. They don't want to give up 1% of the pie.
Oh,
they fucking up your entertainment because they don't want to give up 1% of the 1%. Pie. For reference, the NBA last two lockouts, the first one was the owners trying to get the profit share from 57% players down to 50-50, and it's currently sitting around 51-49. Disney, Netflix, Paramount, Sony, all these people y'all paying per month for your entertainment. As we creep up on the fall and you want the new season of your show, they are delaying you getting that, and they are causing, instead of a 22 episode season, you're gonna get a hot 14 because they don't want to give up 1% of the revenue, and they plan on keeping your money while they striking to make up some of what they gonna lose when they end up having to pay them. How they gonna pay them?
And part of that problem is, like my dog said, they are worried about AI. So what they want and what they are asking for is for background actors to come in, scan them with AI, use their likeness in perpetuity. What do in perpetuity mean, my G?
For ever.
For 1 day of pay. For them coming in to be stand, they get 1 day of pay to use their likeness
long
in
after
perpetuity.
they dead, they still gonna be sitting in the coffee shop while Jerry go, "What is up with that?"
Exactly.
1 day of pay. My
They
big
get
brother was
1
in
day of-
Stomp the Yard too, and that nigga got 100 per 8-hour shift. And this was when Stomp the Yard 2 was getting made. They want that nigga to get that 1 day, and then when they got him taking bets as the bookie in every other scene, oh, that's just CGI. And he gets nothing. When they replay on BET after being in theaters, he gets nothing. Orange is the New Black complaining about a $27 royalty check, and they don't want her getting nothing.
The actors today.
You see the episode of My Wife and Kids where Cat Williams come on that bitch? I signed your big head, I own you. You ain't seen that shit? Where he be rap battling for Junior? Oh man, I'm gonna send you that. Yeah, he come try to steal Junior from Michael.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. He signed a nigga to a rap contract. It's a good ass episode, bro.
And so part of the reason why the SAG-AFTRA, WGA, the Writers Guild, like why all these folks are upset is they're making less money. They're making 4% less money than they did in 2020. They're making 4% less money than they did back in 2020. They are being...
And they want to get them to where they're gig workers, where they're only paid for the days they write instead of salaried positions.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of writing rooms. They're trying to make those rooms smaller. With AI, they're doing other things to where if...
It just hit me. Can I simplify it for the COWmunity?
What's that?
The golden era of television just fucking ended. How everybody was saying, oh my God, the Ozarks, the Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
The long ass wave we were on of there always being an iconic show. Where it was like there was always an amazing drama to get lost in. There was always a snowfall. There was always a power. They are trying to fuck that up to make the product as cheaply as possible because they don't give a fuck about giving you quality. Yeah, we do give me some headlines and conversations on wax though. Humbly.
Exactly. And because streaming has changed the pay scale so different, like their royalties, a lot of them live off their royalties. They live like from role to role and they depend on reruns and shit, and streaming has changed that, which has changed things in music, and now it's changed things in like the replay of you're not getting album sales. What you're getting is streaming, and that's counted at a lower rate than the old model, and so they want to negotiate higher rates of those royalties for themselves, in addition to other very basic human needs, like you have to make $26,000 in a year to keep your insurance. A lot of people fall below that line just because they love acting so much. They fall below that line, and this strike, and so the strike, they thought that the producers were acting in good faith by extending their deal for an extra 12 days. During that 12 days, after that 12 days, the deal lapsed and SAG-AFTRA went to show up at the table. The producers didn't show up. And so what they did was they acted in bad faith during that entire 12-day period. How many Barbie commercials did you see? They used that time to promote all the movies that they currently have to get people out to the theaters for these summer blockbusters that they got to get them.
Barbenheimer, go see Barbie and Oppenheimer the same day. Shit.
Yep.
Go see Oppenheimer and then go see Barbie after to bring you up. It was like take the red and the blue pill type shit.
Exactly, bro. So that was their motivation is.
Can I sidebar real quick?
Go ahead.
Nigga, with these hats on, we got a very Wayne's World vibe going on. You feel what I said?
Shout out to the brother Marcus Harvey.
You feel me? You said that shit to me, and I ain't see it until right now. I got on these big ass glasses. I'm garf like a motherfucker right now. You feel me?
Square bitty, man. But yeah, man. Like, so I've gotten a little bit of your thoughts about this strike, man. You have any other additional thoughts in relation to it, man? Because you know how we are about, because we are musicians and we are artists and we care about ownership and we care about quality and we care about the quality of life, being able to do and produce what you want as a creative and being compensated fairly for your wages, because you're not able, you don't get what you're worth, you get what you're able to negotiate. And so I got a whole lot of love for people who are willing to say, I'm willing to lose my apartment or my house or whatever, to stand on this, because this is labor. Like, this ain't just actors and people in Hollywood. Like, there's a very few people that live in that margin of making $20 million per movie. Like, it's very few Meryl Streeps. It's very few Matt Damons out there. It's very few Denzel Washingtons. Like, a lot of those folks live role to role, and they only want to make enough to sustain themselves.
Only 5 people at that wedding scene in Mamma Mia is getting M's for that movie. The other 300 getting a couple hundred. You feel me?
Exactly. And they got to look for another role like that to keep the lights on, man. And so
they're trying to be in every wedding scene and wear that same suit, so they ain't got to spend extra money because they on the circuit and got a manager that make them buy their own wardrobe.
Exactly,
that type thing. You feel me?
And people like Bob.
But the other thing I'll explain to them about what hurt the actors on the back end beyond their salary when it come to royalties and getting paid, the benefit of a business of having your own studio and doing the vertical integration thing is you own a huge percentage of the actual product. So you got to understand, Netflix is the streaming service, but Netflix owns, say, 80% of a vehicle if it funds it completely, casts it, hires the writers, and bills it out. So if the writer, director, actors are all splitting another percent, say the director get 5%, and he's splitting that by himself. You see what I'm saying? The producers get 5%. It's like 10 producers. It's like 150 actors in an episode. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So y'all splitting 5%, and it's like when TLC was like, now I ain't even gonna go into TLC numbers when they got, but so Netflix can negotiate a shitty deal of what it pays out in royalties because it's the streaming service that will get paid off of its own shows. Same with Paramount, same with Disney Plus, same with any of these other Sony, you know what I'm saying? When they make the show, they can negotiate a bad deal even though they own 80% of the royalty share because they're the streaming service that's ganking the creatives who made the thing, even though they're part of the people who made the thing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's why you got all these people getting their catalogs bought and shit, because the people who hold the equity over the lifespan of time, you could be worth whatever 50 million. Them niggas done made 300 off your ass. That's how they can give you 300 for your catalog. They giving you your own money to own that shit outright. Now it's theirs. You feel?
Now it's theirs, right? Exactly, man. And
that's what they don't understand. Part of the reason, just projecting forward, part of the reason they're buying all of these artists' catalogs is because there's about to be another wave of monetization. But people who made them classic funk albums like fucking James Brown and some of these guys, they monetize their music over 8-track, vinyl, cassette, CD, streaming, and the iTunes era was niggas was buying singles for 99 cents a pop and ringtones. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas got they feelings hurt and they chick left. I know you wanna leave me. We're doing numbers in March after niggas fucked up February. You feel me? Niggas was making money hand over fist, but if you didn't own your masters, imagine niggas didn't own their masters after the second wave of monetization. The industry knows that CDs are coming, that MP3s are coming, that zip discs are coming. Holograms are coming. The Kanye stem player is coming. The patent will be up on that in probably 7 more years, and they'll be able to make bastardized versions of it. Like when the patent came up on the iPod and they was able to make the Zoom, and everybody was like, fuck that Zoom. And they just waited for the smartphones to try to come back at Apple. But Windows got smacked when they did that stupid ass Zoom shit. You feel me? There is about to be another wave of monetization, bruh. I promise you. There will be a holographic projector that goes in houses, and you're going to have to buy that shit separate for that holographic projector. It's not going to be a TV. It's going to be a hologram thing where the nigga could be in your house performing, and the niggas who own them catalogs is going to get the money from it.
Yep.
It's that simple. Something is coming.
Yeah. I mean,
even if it's the metaverse, and you can go to clubs in the metaverse and hear the music, and that's what a lot you're not going to get paid for that shit in the metaverse.
It's going to be, if people know about the movie Ready Player One, go check that movie out. That is that's what's coming. Is people spend a good bit of their time in something like the metaverse, and it means the world to you in that world in your real life. It's like it's two separate worlds, and if you own somebody's catalog, like my dog said, you can go to a bar or whatever in the metaverse with your goggles and shit on, and you can spend your time in there. And as they playing this joint, they own your catalog, so they can play that on a jukebox and like while you living in that virtual reality. Then they're capitalizing every time that shit is played in these. Because you better rest assured it's capturing all that data. And that data's getting sent up the damn chain.
It blow my mind that Bieber got 8 classic albums, and whenever he listened to his own shit on Spotify, somebody else making money.
Somebody making the money.
And he ain't making shit from it. That blows my mind. And why a nigga would be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. When you already got 100 million, that blows my mind. Especially when you married. You gonna do that shit before any potential calamity? Sound like some nut shit to me.
Since we're on the topic of music, can you do me a favor and can you name me some iconic labels over the course of history? When you think of iconic record labels, which ones come to your mind?
Is it LaFace that was down here in Atlanta that put like Outkast and the crew on? Shouts out to L.A. Reid, man. Because that gave Southern hip hop the opportunity to really elevate itself to the forefront. And then he had a big role, I believe, at Atlantic part of the time when Joe was doing his thing, and then Tip come through. But I'm not shouting out Atlantic. It's I just said it. What was it?
You said LaFace.
LaFace. And then I want to go on up and shout out Hypnotized Minds.
Okay.
Them boys did amazing for their region, and they held it down, and they were a label unto themselves. And I think they ended up sounding like Lil White and a few extra people, but I was very proud of what they were able to do between their collective projects and solo albums to sustain themselves as a label. I extend the same respect to the Rockefellers, to the Rough Riders camps, to the Murder Inc. crew, to Cash Money. And when I say Cash Money, I'll end with Cash Money because of all of the legendary labels. The one to stand the test of time, the one to always have a nigga who is in the conversation for one of the hottest niggas on the planet, is Cash Money Records. Since they started taking over for the 99 and the 2000, they have always had one of, if not the hottest artists on the planet. From when Juvenile blew up and did 5 with goddamn 400 Degrees, to when the Hot Boy broke up and Wayne come through, and then he come back with the Carter, it do 2, and then he come back with the Carter 3, that bitch do like $1 million in a week. He go to jail and pass the torch to Drake flawlessly. Signed Nicki Minaj, and he got the hottest female artist in the world. Shouts out to Cash Money Records. When it come to legendary labels, they second to none. Say whatever the fuck you want to about Baby. He is a hell of a motherfucking CEO. Because the roster around these niggas who have been the artists of the day have been dope as fuck to me, from the Tigers to the Twizzes to the goddamn Turks to the motherfucking BGs to the motherfucking Manny Freshes to the Babies, the Big Timers album. You feel what I'm saying? The Jay Seans, the Blue Faces. Them niggas be putting together rosters that's crazy, and they always have not even viral moments because they existed before viral. They always have something unique that you can only get from them, and I think that's a part of what make them special. Yeah, shouts out to Cash Money Records.
That's out, man. I appreciate my dog for giving us that history lesson. I want to give us another one. It's going to begin with a quick anecdote. In 2013, we were recording Third Coasting at my mama's house down in Alabama. She came walking down the hallway talking on the damn phone to one of her girlfriends while we were breaking in between takes. She poked her head in the door, didn't say a damn word. She turned around and walked back into the kitchen. Bro, what she said to her friend when she poked it, what we heard her say on that phone when she walked out of that room without saying nothing to us?
Girl, they think they Berry Gordy in there.
It be y'all damn people, man. But speaking of great Gordy, man, Motown Records has had access to some amazing talent, but it's the systems. It is the systems that Berry Gordy built that sets them apart. So Motown Records, man, and I'm gonna give you some backstory, and this came from Dan Runcie of Trapital. So before Motown, Berry Gordy.
You fuck with Runcie. I done heard bro a few times.
I do. I really
got his name sound like Mary Jo Warner.
Runts. Before Motown, Berry Gordy worked for 2 years at Ford Lincoln-Mercury on the assembly line. And while he was building a record label, he thought to himself, he wanted to replicate that process. There should be like an assembly process, essentially, where you can get results. And so he had an autobiography in 1994 called To Be Loved. And this is what one of the quotes in that book is.
My bad.
At the plant, the cars started out as just a frame, pulled along on a conveyor belt until they emerged at the end of the line. I wanted a place where a kid off the street could walk in one door unknown and come out another as a recording artist, as a star. Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, Martha and the Vandellas, and a whole heap more. That's what Berry Gordy was producing over there at Motown. And so,
and he shot Party Rock out his own nutsack for you.
Party Rock, yeah. And he did that one for you. And
you're welcome.
Did that one. And my dog C.O.D. Decaturboy Music is all about systems and processes. He is a very, I forget which side of the brain, like is logic. I think it's right brain. No, it's left brain. Left brain is logic, I think. Left is logic. But my dog is an econ major. It's all about making sense out of things. And so Berry Gordy had a process, and this was his process. Stop me if any of this sounds familiar, my G. We're going to do everything with in-house production. Songwriters and producers all in-house to make the company self-sustaining. We're going to have a song format. Each song going to have a familiar beginning. It's going to have a chorus with a grand arc, and it's going to shout out the song's name at the end. Quality control. They're going to have weekly meetings where multiple artists recorded versions of the same song. The best version won out and was released. Multiple covers. If one hit song took off, another Motown artist would later release the same song. An example is Marvin Gaye and Diana Ross both having a version of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Multiple in-house recording labels to bypass, at that time, radio restrictions on how often they could play a song from the same label. Hitsville USA Studio. That motherfucker was open 24/7 for whenever creativity hits you. Berry lived upstairs and the studio was downstairs, and he packed the vending machines with everything that the artist wanted. They also had etiquette coaches that trained Motown artists on their presence and media training to appeal to all audiences. Tell me Berry Gordy wasn't that fucking deal, bro. Berry Gordy had a blueprint and created an empire off of damn blueprint. Give me somebody that can sing, and so he had more tactics than that, but like that's just at a high level, man. And you know, certain labels, like my dog mentioned Cash Money. Cash Money had a sound. Berry Gordy then created a whole damn genre. And it ain't many folks that can do that, is have a whole genre and a whole label of motherfuckers who creating hits one after one. Cause like I read you that list. Name a time during their run where there was somebody outside of that list that was outdoing the people that was on that damn list. So yeah, man. That's my dog Barry G, bro. I had to bring that to our attention, man. I saw that story, and we are on the cusp of doing not something similar, but doing something that had the likes of it haven't been seen until we got here. And so I just wanted the COWmunity to hear that in season 3, episode 91. Yes, sir. But my G.
Yes, sir. Every time I cough, my leg hurt like a motherfucker. That's why I lean like that. What it do, though?
Long way. But you from the A, man, and you from Decatur, adjacent, and you read books. And in this week's episode of Bullshit.
May I interject real quick before we get off the subject? Bruh, you know how down the street from me, where you talking about, that street, this side of the street, Decatur, that side of the street, Atlanta?
Yeah.
But tell me why I'm riding around with one of my partner from Decatur, right? And we get to talking about Amaretta the Great. And that nigga said, yeah, I don't know why y'all nigga feeling was so hurt. And I was like, nigga, you stay a quarter mile from me. What the fuck are you talking about? He said, we don't pay for trash bags at my house. I said, boy, fuck you, dog. Them nigga really on that whole shit. He like, bro, Decatur is not Atlanta. I said, bro, I can hit the city limit sign standing on my porch, but I'm Decatur to the death of me, carrying the torch. It's a D on my hat right now. You feel me? I ain't trying to be from Atlanta. But nigga, don't sit here and do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you hit me up and be like, bro, pull up, nigga, I see you in less than 5 minutes. Cut the bullshit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not from Atlanta. If you don't fuck off, that shit still get me hot.
It's also still funny because like it's some person drew like some imaginary lines and said this is this.
Yeah,
it's so
we
it's
all
so
sitting on the same.
In the first place.
Granted, it's Stone Mountain.
Right.
That's why Atlanta
Right.
special. It's because of Stone Mountain. And we closer to Stone Mountain than y'all niggas. And we was the capital. We been through this. But the AI gonna cut this up crazy. Niggas is crazy. The truth about Decatur and Atlanta. That shit be acting like we hard hitting journalists. They said the way they might see the way my mic is set up. I work for NPR. Go ahead, P. My bad. I'm derailing the fuck out of shit.
The reason I mentioned that deck, Eastside 6, Decatur, Georgia, and Atlanta is, I told the COWmunity that I was reading a book, man. And this week I wanted to share a little bit of bullshit book club with the COWmunity. Do you mind if I read a little excerpt for the people?
My minds. No, I don't mind. I can't shout them out, but yeah. Oh shit. Rap Captain. The Atlanta story. Capital, excuse me. I said Captain. I can read y'all. The book was bent for the audio audience.
It was bent.
For the podcast. That nigga P got that Mr. Wilson swag. I like this bullshit book club. Get back on that Mr. Wilson shit.
Yeah, man. I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Bullshit Book Club, coming to you from Joe Coscarelli, New York Times editor and writer. In his debut, I think this is his debut book, Rap Capital, an Atlanta story.
Oh, shit. You look at my camera. Oh, shit.
This excerpt is from chapter 5. One day, like any other, a studio manager informed Lee of a potential score for his producers. There was a crew of young rappers holed up in the A room of Dark Studios, the recording equivalent of a master bedroom, and they obviously had cash to throw around. The guys had been in there nearly a month trying to get something going. "This is a lick for you," Lee's friend said. "You can make some money." Upon pulling up, Lee met the man holding the purse strings, a hustler known as Lil J, who had designs on becoming the next big rap CEO, a la Master P. Lil J was 21, a native of Hawkinsville, Georgia, population 3,280. He had a 2001 Lexus LS 400 sitting on 20-inch rims in the parking lot. He knew of Lee's work with Pastor Troy and seemed open to input on his would-be label. But Lil J declared firmly that he was not a rapper. Lee immediately knew otherwise. Despite his protestations, Lil J had laid down a few cursory verses on artist songs, and his raspy country drawl, along with his untouchable, seen-it-all demeanor and street shine, were what stuck out to the budding talent scout in his midst. Lil J was a musician yet, but there was something to mold, and soon enough, he had a new stage name, Young Jeezy. After some convincing and experimentation, Lee made Young Jeezy his main project, and the pair spent years developing a sound and persona that would connect first on the streets of Atlanta and then around the world. They were in the studio every day, with Lee playing the executive producer, critic, cheerleader, and taskmaster as he pushed Jeezy from a reluctant MC toward a full package artistry. It was Lee's perfectionism and tendency to tell Jeezy, "Do that shit over," in the studio that helped give Lee a name that would echo across Atlanta for the next 2 decades, rarely in association with Duke University basketball. He was dubbed Coach K. Dog, this book.
I fucked that whole segment up trying to fit my camera, bro. Most of that shit is me looking stupid and fuck, and I realized stupid late. But I'm gonna put some Jeezy clips over that. That was fire though. And I'm gonna edit me telling you that out too.
But man, yeah, this book is it's super dope, man. And even though I knew who Lil J was and like where that part of the story was going, it was still interesting like to hear.
Is
like
Coach K the nigga who do
Coach K? Yeah,
QC?
Yeah, QC, Migos,
Damn.
Lil Baby, yeah. So Coach K had been working with Pastor Troy. He had been working with obviously Jeezy. He had worked with Gucci Mane. Yeah, man. So like, yeah, this is the same Coach K, and like this book does a really good job of.
You need to come give her the playbook. Stop playing with it.
Yeah, square bitty, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Rap Capital, an Atlanta story by Joe Coscarelli, bro. I might read an excerpt or a story from somebody that you've heard of, that you undoubtedly heard of, and then some people that you may not have heard of. But hearing how all these people within this ecosystem in North Georgia and surrounding areas landed upon this one area of the state and has proceeded to make music that has had the music industry in a chokehold for about 30 years at this point. It's super dope, man. So I'm gonna continue to bring y'all little tidbits
Hip hop was born in New York, but
it
it was raised in Atlanta, and we gonna talk our shit. The South got something to say.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Could you do me and the audience a favor?
I sure the hell can, man. What would you like me to do for you?
If you could. I wish you would. Tell me and the audience something good.
I can sure enough do that, man. And you know how on Give Me Some Headlines here in the COWmunity, when you got the two founding members of the COWmunity, you know it's one thing that we love to damn do. And that's talk good about a motherfucking black woman.
Preach. Testify.
I sure damn will. This week, it's especially near and dear to my heart because the black woman we're going to talk about this week is none other than my lovely wife.
My wife. I had to.
My G. My lady just accepted her offer, man. And we'll be starting a new chapter to her career. I'm not going to tell y'all where. I'm not going to tell y'all when. I'm not going to tell y'all how much. But
never too much, never too much.
It's never too much. Never too much, never too much money. Never too much, never too much money. But man, shouts out to my lady, man, for this journey that she's been on, bruh. I'm so proud of her, man. Like, could not be more proud of her. Like, we've been together for over 7 years at this point, and I've gotten to see her maturation process, and I got to see her step into new roles and create new things and create an immense amount of value for everybody that she has been employed with and has worked alongside. And I'll give you a quick anecdote about this recent blessing that she is about to step into. Whenever you're going out for a new job, you give your references and you give their contact information, and then your potential future employer will reach out to these references to ask them, well, how was your experience working with such and such? And so one of my lady's references, the potential, well, now her employer, because she is signed on a dotted line and will be making that move. And she's negotiated some wonderful things for herself, but I'll tell you why. So one of her references was contacted by her now employer, her soon to be new employer. And they asked, yeah, how was your time working with this young lady? And she said, oh, it was fantastic. I tried to get her in my company here, but she didn't want to take a contract position at the time, and I understand that. But I plan to hire her. I plan to try again to hire her as soon as I have a role that is worthy of her time and her effort. And they told my lady they had capped her out at the highest salary. They said, "Oh, really?" They had that conversation with that young lady that had previously worked with my lady. They called my lady back and said, "You know what? We're going to give you a sign-on bonus, and we're going to increase that salary that we told you was top out."
Because they don't want her to be able to call snakery.
Exactly. And so, like my dog always say, bro, you don't get what you're worth. You get what?
What you're able to negotiate.
Amen, bro. So that's the tell me something good, man. My wife is stepping into a new journey of her life, man, and I'm gonna do everything that I can to support her and fill in the gaps as she transitions into this new role. She about to take some time off, which she has never gotten to do in between jobs, man. And I'm gonna take her on a little trip and everything, man. And we gonna spend some time enjoying Black love. And yeah, man, starting off this 2.5.
Why I gotta be Black love? Cause it's black.
Cause it's black. It's like black, y'all. It's like black, y'all. It's like black, y'all. But yeah, man, that's this week's Tell Me Sante.
Good.